Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Breaking at Breakfast, a brand new show where we read the morning paper and talk about it over breakfast. I am so excited. The newspaper today is USA Today, the weekend edition, and the breakfast today is a breakfast burrito with egg, ham, pepperoni, and green chili. Straight from New Mexico. So we are excited this morning. Let's just dive right into it again. This is the first episode. All right. But I think this is a great idea, and I'm excited to do this with you all today. I'm going to try to get comfortable here. I think this would be a really good live stream. You know, I wasn't really sure how to set it up last time I tried to do a live stream. I feel like the audio was off. So I want to do it. I think that'd be a good idea, but maybe for tomorrow, right? But let's see. All right. So it is June 21st today. That's exciting, but it is a Friday, so this is the weekend edition, right? Totally fine. So the headline of the page, the front page, says cartels offer VIP package to migrants. That's interesting. All right. Secret routes, codes, and corruption pave way across the border, but the bundle comes at a premium. You know, we've been hearing about things like this for some time, but I know the borders, a lot of people's pain points this election year. So I think we're going to be seeing a lot of things coming in terms of what Biden is going to be doing over the next couple months. I think we're going to be hearing a lot of questions about it at the debate this coming week. So I think that's going to be really exciting. Look at this. The tunnel route costs at least $6,000 according to interviews with top Mexican state authorities. You know what? I've heard that price be significantly higher. $6,000 sounds like a deal if you ask me. My goodness. Oh yeah. Migrant smuggler said he has charged as much as 15. Now we're looking at a more accurate price. Right? Everything in the underground world functions by a code. By code, the cartels give their VIP customers, often delivered by cell phone that identifies which cartel travel agency. Right, that's nice. A migrant is working with. So everyone from local police to rival criminal syndicates knows not to harassment. That is in my goodness. All right, we're just going to be moving on. I think the only way this works is if we do kind of, the quick glances, the key points, and then, move forward. Another headline is heat wave. Another warning from Planet. Is it another warning or is it summer? Right? Hey, listen. I am not in the coolest place in the country, but even I know, it's been worse. What do I know, though? Study says extremes are becoming common. You know what I saw recently on the internet? I was seeing how there was this newscaster from the 80s talk about how, guys, if we don't act now with climate change, something terrible is going to happen in the 90s. New York City is going to be completely flooded if we don't do something now. This is like 83. And then you just keep seeing these clips from all throughout the 80s, all throughout the 90s, all throughout the 2000s. And it's just, oh my gosh. You're harassing people at this point. You're gaslighting people. Now, there's no doubt in my mind that the climate is changing, right? The doubts that I have are whether or not these are just normal changes. Okay, and you could tell me your opinion in the comments, right? Totally fine. I'd love to hear your opinion, in fact. Tell me what you think about climate change. Is the heat wave another warning from the planet? That's kind of aggressive language, if you ask me. Let's move on. Here's the line you can use at the pool or beach this weekend. Yep, it's climate change. If anyone were to say... Gosh, the deadly heat wave that scorched much of North America in early May and early June and is still baking the central and eastern U.S. was made 35 times more likely because of man-caused climate change. A scientific study released Thursday says. Where is this study from? I would love I'd love to see your sources on that. All right. Another article from the front page says NYC watermelons stand a sweet slice of society. All right, New York. Every summer when the weather heats up in the Bedford area, a steady stream of residents descend on James Jackson's watermelon stand. Wow, that sounds nice. Support local vendors all the time. Sounds great. All right. Oh, this looks great. Look at this. 1 in 5 Americans say student loans will influence their vote. You guys think that's true? I have no reason to believe that's not. Right. I think there are some massive pressure points in the election cycle today. I think student loans is going to be one of them, especially because the Biden administration had a lot of promises in that area. Trump made no such thing, right? And another pressure point, what's happening at the border. Definitely another pressure point is what is happening with inflation. Are we in a recession? Question mark. What else is a pressure point, I believe, this time around? Let me know what you think of other pressure points are this time. I'd love to hear your thoughts here, but it says nearly 1 in 5 Americans said student loans will have a major influence over their vote for the presidential election. A bank rate survey found more than 40 million borrowers owe a total of $1.77 trillion in loans, according to the Federal Reserve. Wow. Former President Trump and President Joe Biden have taken different approaches toward student loans. The Biden administration has introduced several student loan relief initiatives during his time in office. Most recently, in May, the administration announced an additional $7.7 billion in forgiveness for undergraduate loan holders. You know, all these billions being thrown into this, and all my loans are still there. If we have anybody working for the Biden administration, look me up. Hook up your boy. I got some loans. Now, I know if anyone on the right is saying you took them out, you should be able to pay them off. Hey, I understand you. I feel you. I took out the loans. I'm responsible for the loans. I am completely committed to paying off the loans myself. But if someone wants to pay for it, I will not stop them. All right? That's all I'm saying. Moving on. College tuition and student loans continue to rise. Absolutely. It's terrible. You know what? Student loans continue to rise. Tuition continues to rise. But you know what doesn't continue to rise? The amount of jobs that are demanding a college education. That seems like a steady decline, which is really sad. So I think I think people really need to look into that. Okay, another thing here. Oh, Louisiana governor signs off on 10 commandments in classroom. Heard about this. This is really, really interesting. Wow, Louisiana public schools will now be required to display the 10 commandments in every classroom following a new law signed by Governor Jeff Landry. Wow, I would love to know what you guys think about this, because this does seem to be one of the dividing issues these days. That is interesting. Republicans in states, including Texas and Oklahoma, have pushed for similar legislation. Wow. If there's anyone in Texas, Oklahoma, and Louisiana watching this, I would love to know your thoughts here. I think that's really interesting. I don't know if I've developed a perspective on this yet. I could see a lot of people pushing against this, saying that it's unfair to the people who, don't necessarily agree with these views. My only pushback is in that area, in Louisiana, Texas, how many of those people are not in agreement with the 10 Commandments? That's my only thing. I'd love to hear your perspective on this. This is interesting too. RFK Jr. fails to qualify for the CNN debate. That is really disappointing. As you guys know, I'm a huge fan of RFK Jr. these days. Yeah, June 27th. The deadline to qualify was 12 a.m. on Thursday. What's really interesting is here, I'll continue to read, but there's something interesting here. To qualify, candidates must appear on a sufficient number of state ballots to reach 270 electoral vote thresholds to win the presidency and receive at least 15 in 4 qualifying polls prior to the eligibility. Kennedy had received at least 15 in 3 qualifying polls, was on the ballot for 6 states, making him eligible. So here's the thing, and here's part of the controversy, and I know a lot of people have already discussed this, but just in case you're not too sure, the controversy here is that they believe that President Trump and President Biden are actually conspiring against Robert Kennedy Jr. because he has actually filed. He's filed for all of these states, for the majority of them, to at least get the 270 electoral votes. So he's done it. That's incredible. His campaign has done it. Kennedy, 2024 has, but the problem is where it gets him is that the states have not validated all of the signatures. So the states could theoretically take all the time they want. The debates could pass. And even though he'll be on the ballot in November, it doesn't mean that the states have verified them with enough time. So that's really interesting. A lot of people are saying this is very political, very agenda-based, because people are trying to keep him off the ballots. Trump had even made a video yesterday saying that, yeah, it's unfortunate that RFK isn't going to be able to be with us, right? And he was saying that you got to be polling at least higher than 6%. You know, he has been polling higher than 6%, right? It even says here that he's polled at least 15% on 3 sufficient polls. But yeah, part of the qualifications from CNN did say in at least 4, right? So he hit 3. He needed to hit 4. So it looks like he missed those 2 marks right then and there. But yeah, that's really, really interesting. Again, I'd love to hear your thoughts on that. That'd be great. Supreme Court upholds Trump-era tax on Americans' foreign earnings. Okay. Wow, man hurt near Ohio coaster may have been struck by it. Oh my gosh. See, these are things that I probably would not have heard, right? These are things that would not have popped up on my Instagram or Twitter, right? They just would not have popped up. Farmers have a high suicide rate. Oh my gosh. Can therapists get to them in time? Man, that is so sad. I feel like people don't talk enough about farmers these days and the amount of psychological warfare that they go through time after time, because it's so seasonal. Man, I have a lot of friends and family who work in this industry, and it is very taxing. So yeah, this is your reminder to check in on your friends and family who work in agriculture, because it is not easy. Alrighty, let's move on. A week in review. You know what? I'm gonna take a bite, because after all, this show is called Breaking at Breakfast. We got plenty of breaking news, but we don't got enough breakfast these days. Let me open this up. Oh man. Okay, it's still warm. Thank goodness, because I've had to record this intro twice already because I kept messing up. But let's bite in. Wow, so good, man. Okay, all right, look at this. Forgiving loans would help military families. Forgiving loans would help a lot of families. Another article says evangelicals believe pride is a sin. I wouldn't be here without it. And obviously we have a nice large pride image. Well, yeah, this was from Washington, D.C. Someone says, months after coming out publicly, I told my mom it felt like she didn't love me. And she said, loving you isn't the same as affirming you, she replied. I felt the words cut through my chest. Wow. Taking pride in my identity doesn't come natural to me. But what my mom may not understand is that I wouldn't be here if I didn't start learning how to do it. Yeah, super interesting. I don't know if I'll continue reading, but it is interesting. Evangelicals can't see the sin in dehumanizing people. Wow. Well, we definitely should not be dehumanizing people. That does not sound very fun at all. Let's keep going. Star of MASH Hunger Games dies. I did hear about this. That's what's interesting about reading the paper, because, you know, obviously a lot of these things had to get edited, curated, printed, shipped, and right to the gas station from which I bought. So a lot of these things, you know, they might not be the most breaking news. You know, it might not be like this just happened. It might not be that. But it's nice because now, instead of just seeing a headline on, you know, Twitter where it's like, oh yeah, this person is gone, now you could actually read a little bit more if you choose, right? I don't know. That's great. I think I am done with that paper. I'm kind of just tossing him as as they go. All right, this is the weekend extra. National parks from A to Z explore great sand dunes to Kobach Valley. You know what? I visited a lot of national parks, but I've yet to go to a sand dune. So I think that would be super, super fun. The Great Sand Dunes National Park in Colorado. Wow. What makes this park special? The tallest in North America reaches 741 feet, according to the park website. Wow. The tallest dunes on the continent are a marvel in their own right. Wow. Can you sled down a sand dune? Yes, sand sledding and sand boarding are popular activities. Wow, I didn't know you could do that, actually. How much time should you spend? 1-2 days. Who are the area's native people? Ah, that's interesting. 18 native tribes have historic ties to the land, the park says. That is cool. There are Hopi, Chicarla, Apache, Navajo. Nice. There we go. It's super interesting. Did not know that. Wow. Most visited park continues to impress. The Great Smoky Mountains National Park. That sounds fun. Oh, it's in Tennessee. Okay, we've all been missing out on a park in Texas. Guadalupe Mountains National Park probably isn't on your bucket list. With more than 200,000 visitors last year, it's among America's least visited national parks. Wow. But it's not for the lack of sights. I'll tell you this, the picture that they chose to use really doesn't make it look like much, but national park nonetheless. And if you're near Guadalupe, go out to your park. Why aren't you going to your park? Come on. Wow. House of the Sun is absolutely legendary. You need a whole day to take in raw Hawaii. I would love to go to Hawaii. All right. Ooh, Hot Springs National Park. No entrance fee. That's what I like to see. Man, some of these entrance fees at these national parks are ridiculous. Some of them charge like $20 a person. Well, like $40 a car. Man, okay. Return visits are plenty. Alrighty. Anything from places like visiting another planet, Joshua Tree? I don't know about all that. There we go. This is the one. This is home right here. Kings Canyon National Park. There we go. California represent. Magical towering trees will humble. I will tell you that. They are towering and they are humbling. Wow. The Trail of 100 Giants. If you guys have never been to Sequoia, you guys need to go now. Who are the area's native people? That's interesting. Sequoia and Kings Canyon National Park are homelands to the Mono, Yokuts, and the Western Shoshine. Wow, super interesting. Oh, how much does it cost to get in? Does it say? The best time to visit, spring or fall. I would completely agree. Sometimes they close though because of the snow, and sometimes you're still dealing with snow in that season, so I would let you know. Oh my gosh, Sequoia gets more than almost 1 million visitors compared to just over 600,000 at Kings Canyon. Super interesting. I want to know how much it costs to get in. There are no entry. There's not an entrance fee section here. Probably because it's expensive. That's why. Wow. So cool. Spook Valley National Park also looks incredible. Look at that picture there. Does that not look awesome? My goodness. Sorry if I'm having trouble talking to the mic. I'm trying to read too. Oh my gosh. Hey, you know what's exciting about this? Look at this. Chris Pratt. It is your birthday. I am so happy for you. Happy birthday, Chris Pratt. You are 45 years old today. Happy birthday. I love all of your movies. Parks and Rec. My goodness. I have the Parks and Rec mug right here. The great city of Pawnee, Indiana. Oh my gosh. Your little Sebastian song. Incredible. Man. You in Jurassic World. Phenomenal. I love a lot of your movies. Guardians of the Galaxy. You know what I was really impressed by with you, Chris? I'll just talk directly to you, Chris. You in Parks and Rec, you weren't necessarily the most athletic or in shape, but you turned it around for Guardians of the Galaxy. And my goodness, I remember whenever people were talking about your transformation, it was a scene from Parks and Rec, and you had a bit of a beer belly, you were exhausted, and then the next picture was you shirtless from Guardians of the Galaxy, the first one. And it was impressive. It was wildly, wildly impressive. So good for you. And you know what I remember about you too, because I've gone through my own little weight loss journey. And something you said was, I don't really enjoy eating food anymore, but I enjoy the other things more now. Right? Because the food is maybe boring, but everything else, I just have more energy. And that feels great. So instead of enjoying the food and then being sluggish, now I don't really enjoy the food, but I don't feel sluggish anymore. So it's the sacrifice for an overall healthier lifestyle, and I think it's awesome. Oh wow. Amazon editors revealed their favorite titles of the year so far. Okay. A lot of books here. I'm not really into these books. I probably won't be reading too much of that. And look at this. Sudoku. And all of these, look, it's a word search and everything. This is so cool. This is what's awesome about newspapers. You know what I mean? Jeez. Wow. 50 states. Okay. That's so cool. Just a quick glance. 50 states. All of these are just news. Just small news snippets from across the country. Alrighty. New York. Albany, former governor Andrew Cuomo's misguided and politically charged takeover of public health policy during COVID topped the list of emergency response mistakes made in New York's handling of his global crisis. Wow. A new report asserted the long-awaited report provided an independent review of the state's COVID-19 response. New York spent $4.3 million in tax dollars on the 262-page report, which was ordered by current Governor Kathy Hochul and initially due last November. Governor Cuomo, you're in some trouble over there. What happened? Let's move on. Sports. I love sports. No one loves sports more than me. I'm just going to find the chess section real quick. Baseball, football, basketball. No chess section. Dude, what kind of sports section doesn't include chess? I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. These are jokes here, people. All right, I'm going to take another bite of this burrito. Okay. Let's keep going. Cup drivers who look to make points in New Hampshire. Alrighty. Any NASCAR fans here? That sounds fun. I would love to go to a NASCAR race. I hear that the sounds are incredible. Hearing those roaring cars pass by you at 200 miles an hour. My goodness, that sounds awesome. I want to go. I've been to many Formula Drift events. Incredible, phenomenal. Out in Long Beach, out in Irwindale. They are awesome. But not NASCAR. NASCAR, if you're watching this, treat your boy. Okay, look at this. Caitlin Clark. Everyone loves Caitlin Clark these days. Caitlin Clark proving naysayers wrong. There we go. The national narrative was relentless, relatively simple, and as it turns out, totally wrong. It went something like this. The Indiana Fever were terrible. Caitlin Clark was struggling. The naysayers were right. The transition for the greatest scorer in major college basketball from Iowa to the WNBA was going to be Andress and ugly. Wow. But Clark, wow, she's 22 years old. Wow. Clark, the 22-year-old phenom who is the nation's most popular and definitely the most discussed athlete, 100%. Wow. The one who is bringing crowds and eyeballs to the WNBA, and no one has ever before has found her comfort zone and is playing beautifully. Great. We love to see it. There we go, Caitlin. Wow, good for you. Man, a quote says, "We didn't get to practice much, and we are the most inexperienced team in the WNBA," Clark said. "Now this group is starting to click and build some chemistry. Everyone loves instant satisfaction. Sure, we would have probably loved that too, but we all kept good perspective knowing we need to get better one step at a time." There we go. One step at a time. Hey, how do you climb a set of stairs? Do you just jump from the bottom to the top? No. You take one step at a time. Alrighty. Look at this weather. This looks great. If you're interested in knowing how the weather is, wherever you're from, check it out. No need to go to the weather app. I will totally hook you up. That is so funny. Wow. Man, I wish I cared more about sports. You know what I say? I say politics are my sport. Alright, the NBA, Eastern Conference, Western Conference, the Mavericks. There we go. If Luka Doncic continues to improve, there's no reason to think he won't. And the Mavs are able to build around him and Kyrie. All right. Well, that is the morning paper. This was fun. Wow. Hey, everyone. Thank you so much for watching and listening. I appreciate your time so much, and I really hope you enjoyed this episode. If you'd like to support what we're building here, please like and subscribe. It means a lot, and it really helps us out. And if you want to see even more content from me, make sure to follow me on Instagram. I'm going to be sharing a lot more on there. Thank you so much. Have a great day, and I'll see you next time.